Euro USD live PMI Tuesday, the 3rd of September 2024 market direction with entry, stop loss, and take profit. And remember, I'll be giving away my strategy for free right here on the live stream. So thank you. Welcome, guys. Thank you so much for joining me on this beautiful Tuesday morning. It is exactly 8:30 a.m. my local time here in East Africa. But if you're using the New York time, it is exactly 1:30 a.m. So thank you so much for joining me. To whoever is joining right now, thank you so much. Every Monday to Friday, I get onto these live streams to basically share what I believe is going to be the direction of the day on the Euro USD. So if you are out there and maybe you lack clarity when it comes to the daily bias on the Euro USD, definitely this is the live stream that you should always be catching every Monday to Friday, 8:30 a.m. East African time. So thank you so much. Thank you for whoever is joining right now. I greatly appreciate you taking time and basically, joining me right here now. For me to be able to call these directions of the day, I use my 50% win rate strategy with a 1-to-4 risk to reward ratio, and this enables me call out these directions. And when I tell you it's a 50% win rate strategy, this basically means that in each and every 10 trades that I take, at least 5 of those should be winners. So basically, that's the type of strategy that I trade. And I've traded this particular strategy for over a year now, and it's very profitable. So if you are out there and you're looking for a strategy, I'm going to be diving deep into this strategy to be able to share everything about it for free right here on the channel on this live stream. So if you're out there and you do not have a strategy, or you don't have a profitable strategy, stay tuned because I'm going to be sharing everything about this strategy right here on this live stream. Now, if you're out there and you lack discipline, I mean, every time you're on the charts, you want to take a trade. I mean, if something you feel like maybe price is going to move to a particular direction right there and there, you tend to actually want to take a trade. If you're that kind of person who maybe follows no routine, you're just there, winging everything. Maybe if price shows maybe a double bottom, you want to take that trade. If price maybe shows you a fair value gap, you want to take the trade to that fair value gap. And guess what? You end up always losing your money. If you're that kind of person, I would like to tell you that the best way you're going to win in these markets is for you to actually have a routine in your trading. Have a clear trading plan. Have a clear entry way into the market. I mean, have a clear way you're going to be stopped out. You need to have a clear trading plan. Maybe also keep a journal that is going to enable you, have past data that you're going to be using, to take your future trades. So this is my advice to you. If you are out there and maybe you lack discipline in your trading, this is the best way you're going to, be able to overcome this. So that's my word of advice for today. And so getting back into the strategy that I trade, I'm someone who trades a strategy that bases off the previous day's candle. So on that previous day's candle, I like to look out for certain things. Number one, I like to look for what I call an area of interest. This can either be number one, an order block. It can either be a fair value gap, or these could be equal highs or equal lows. So I'm looking out for these things to basically enable me to make my trading decisions. And this is how, this is how I trade. This is how the strategy works. So once I've seen an area of interest, I wait for price to tap into these areas of interest. And then once it has tapped into these areas, I take a trade in the other opposite direction. So basically, this is how I trade. And I'm going to be sharing everything about this strategy right here on this particular live stream. So, so be ready, strap yourself as we get into this this meat and potato for this particular strategy. Maybe away from that, before I even get onto the charts, usually what I like to do is first, acquaint myself with what is in the fundamental side of the day. So what I like to do is basically, check out some of those fundamentals to be able, to align myself with the fundamentals of the day. I'm someone who is a purely technical trader, but I like to actually not to be on the wrong side of the fundamentals, especially if there's something major. I do not want to be on the opposite side of that fundamental news. So basically, I'm going to be sharing my screen to enable you guys see exactly what I'll be seeing on my end. So I'm trying to, share my screen so that you guys can be able to see exactly what I'll be seeing on my side here. So I'm sure you're able to see my screen right there. So now, so basically, what do I mean by this? So on the fundamental side, there are two major websites I like to use. And basically, what I'm looking out for here is major news. Keyword there is major news. I only want to see if these websites have some major news that can be able or that will be able to move the market. So basically, website number one is this right here, bloomberg.com. So you basically visit www.bloomberg.com, and then once you're here, you come under this markets tab right here, and then come under currencies. Then you're able to select out your currency of choice. For me, I trade this particular currency, which is the EURUSD. So that's exactly why you're seeing it right here on my screen. So under that, you can come under related news. I'm using the free version, but if you have some money, you can go ahead and maybe go for the paid version, though it's quite costly, guys. So basically, you can see right here, you can see China show. This is for today. It was updated about 22 minutes ago. So we are not concerned with this. Asian stocks erase gains as dollar, yen outperform markets wrap. Okay. China targets Europe's EV blunder. Global waffles eyes expansion. Okay. Stocks hover as traders brace for swings. That's just a market wrap. It was updated about 6 hours ago. Hostage death spark outrage in Israel. Germany's AfD wins elections. Okay. Hostage death. So this is the same report generally. So basically, when you see this is nothing major on the euro or on the United States dollar. So what does this mean? So this basically means I'm not so much concerned with this particular news. And basically, what is going to end up happening is I'm going to be able to trade technically, purely technically for the day. So basically, this is what I mean. Now, away from this, I like to check this other website, which is forexfactory.com. Now, on this website, they have an economic calendar that they do share. So I like to see exactly the major news that is going to happen. And for me, how I did this, I filtered this to only show me the major news or those red folder news events, the very high impact news events. That's how I filtered this out. So it only and only shows me the red folder news events. So you can see my local time today, which is at 5 p.m. I'll be having on the USD, the ISM manufacturing PMI. So basically, you can see that they expect it to improve by at least 1%, roughly by about 1%, because previously it was at 46.8. So they now expect it to be at 47.5. So having known this, what does this mean? So for me, I like to always be out of the market, or at least bring my trades to break even as these news events drop, because you do not want the market to take away everything you've already made from the trade that you may be currently in, as these news events drop, you do not want the market to take away what you've already made when these news events drop. So what I like to do is basically get out of the market to be able to, secure some profits into my trading account. So basically, this is how I do it, and it's how I've done it for the longest time. And trust me, guys, I happen to find this very profitable because this way you're not going to be giving back money to the market as these news events drop. So, if you know very well, or if you've traded for quite some time, you know that as these news events drop, many of the brokers that we use, they tend to widen their spreads. And what ends up happening is basically, if you predict lose maybe risk maybe 10 pips on that particular trade, you might end up getting slipped maybe 10 more pips or even 20 more pips. So for you to avoid such cases, my best alternative would be you actually moving your trades to break even. If the trade happens to go your way, fine and good. If it goes against you, then you're not losing anything on that particular trade. So basically, this is how I trade, and if you adopt the same, I believe you'll be able to become profitable in this market. So basically, this is it. Excuse me just a bit. Sorry about that. I'm currently having a cold, so you'll excuse me for that. So basically, this is what I do. And then if I'm to actually get onto the chart right here to show you exactly what I'll be looking at today. So you can see that this is what we have on the charts today. So as I told you with my strategy, it is a strategy that bases off of the previous day's candle. So when we look at the previous day, this is on the 1 hour time frame. So basically, this is the price action that we have. We have this kind of price action. So it was a very bullish day yesterday. So what ended up happening, price actually left some fair value gaps. And the one I'm going to be interested in is this lowest fair value gap right here. So I'll be interested in price coming to actually, tap into this fair value gap, this one here. This let me try and mark it out for you guys so that you see it very well. So there's this fair value gap that was formed right there, this one below right here. So I expect price to come at least tap into that fair value gap, and then once it has tapped into it, that's when price will move to the upside. So basically, this is what I'll be looking at. So either for price to come, tap into this fair value gap, then it continues to the upside. So that is scenario number one. If price actually doesn't do this, the other thing I would like to see price do is for price to come all the way up. Let me try and so I would like price to come all the way up here. So once it gets here, this is when I expect price, to reverse. Scenarios I'll be looking at today. Price gives me this. If price gets to any of these levels, then this is when I'll be looking to actually take my trades. Level number one is this right here at 1.10505. So then the other level is at this level here at 1.0890. So what does this mean? If price gets to any of these two levels, then what I will basically end up doing is dropping down to the 5-minute time frame. And then on the 5-minute time frame, this is when, or this is where I actually happen to take my entry. And when it comes to entry, for me, I like to look out for what I call an inversion fair value gap. An inversion fair value gap is basically when price closes a previously existing fair value gap. If that does happen, then I'm looking to actually take a trade in that direction of the closure. So basically, this is what I'll be looking out for today, the 3rd of September 2024. I'll be looking for price to maybe, if it gets to this level, then I take a trade in the opposite direction. If it gets to this level, then I'll take a trade in the other direction by dropping down to the 5-minute time frame and being able to look out for what I call an inversion fair value gap. So when it comes to the stop loss, usually I use a 10 pip stop loss, and then for the take profit, I always use 30 pips in the market. But I like to also stretch this to 1 to 4 to basically be able to make some extra profits from these markets. Now you might be there asking yourself or asking me, why exactly 30 pips only? So for me, on average and out of experience, I found that price on average moves at least 30 pips every single day when it comes to the Euro USD. So I'm able to at least catch these pips and bank this for the day. So I'm very okay with that. I don't know how you trade, or I don't know what your target always is, but for me it is always 30 pips. And once they're done, I'm out of the market. So basically, this is how I do trade. In case you do have some questions, maybe around this particular way I trade, you can go ahead, ask those questions right in the comment section, or else you can actually send me an email. I'll be gladly answering you back in the emails. So basically, this is what I'll be looking at for today. And in case maybe you are trading, I really urge you to please manage your risk, not over leverage on your accounts. Don't think these markets are going away today. That's not how we trade. The markets are here to stay. So all I urge you to do is basically be able to actually manage your risk well. Do not over leverage. Don't make some of those minor execution errors, like maybe instead of placing or maybe tapping on a buy button, you instead tap sell. So do not make some of these minor execution errors, because this is how you stay unprofitable. If you really want to become profitable, you should be able to minimize any kinds of errors. So be there, ready always to execute when the market presents you an opportunity, especially if you do already have an edge. Always execute on your edge, because this is how you are going to be able to constantly make profits from these markets. Maybe after a month, after maybe a quarter, after half a year, you're always going to see yourself being profitable or remaining profitable in these markets. So basically, this is it for today. Hope you guys found this particular live stream very helpful. In case you did, please go ahead, leave it down in the comment section. You can as well go ahead, like the video, because this really helps out the channel. Thank you so much for watching. I'll be catching you tomorrow, same time, right here on the channel. Thank you so much for watching. Have yourselves a great trading day.